Do you know that in Burundi, people earn only $200 annually? In other words, about 96% of the population lives in poverty and cannot earn $2.15 a day, which is the United Nations set line for poverty. Most people only make 54 cents a day and cannot afford even the basic life necessities. There, owning a bicycle is a status symbol, representing that the person is rich. However, if that's the case, how do people survive and spend their lives in Burundi? How is their lifestyle? How do they afford to marry, and what are their priorities? In this video, let's learn about the poorest country in the world and how people live there, and what life means for them. Let's get started. Number 15. Housing and shelter. In rural Burundi, homes are humble structures that reflect the country's widespread poverty and reliance on natural resources. The majority of houses are constructed from mud bricks, straw, and other locally sourced materials. These simple shelters serve as a necessity rather than a source of comfort. They provide minimal protection against harsh weather conditions, such as heavy rains and scorching heat. However, people feel a sense of protection through them. During the rainy season, it's not uncommon for roofs to leak and floors to become damp, creating an almost uninhabitable environment. For many families, their homes are not just vulnerable to the elements, but also at risk of collapsing under extreme weather. Inside these homes, amenities are scarce, furniture is rare, and the concept of a bed is considered a luxury. Most families, often having 8 to 10 members, sleep directly on the ground. To soften the hard surface, they use straw mats, old blankets, or discarded fabric, which offer relief from the cold. However, wealthier households may own handmade wooden beds strung with rope, but these are exceptions rather than the norm. The minimal interiors of these homes reveal the resourcefulness of Burundians, who make do with what little they have. Number 14. Nightfall, a darkness that stops time. When the sun sets in Burundi, life slows down almost entirely. With less than 8% of the population having access to electricity, most households are plunged into complete darkness at night. The streets of rural communities, once bustling with activity during daylight hours, become silent and deserted. Without lighting, people rely on kerosene lamps or candles, but these are expensive and often reserved for emergencies. Families typically go to bed early, as there is little they can do in the absence of light. For those who must stay out at night, like farmers preparing for early market trips or healthcare workers responding to emergencies, the journey is full of challenges. Roads are unlit and uneven, and the only light comes from the moon and stars. This lack of visibility poses safety risks, with thefts and accidents becoming more common. Number 13. Economy. Burundi's economy is among the weakest in the world, with an average annual income of just $200 to $250 per capita. This translates to approximately 50 cents per day, a figure that barely meets basic survival needs. Most Burundians rely on subsistence farming for their livelihood, growing crops like cassava, sweet potatoes, and beans. However, frequent droughts, outdated farming methods, and limited access to markets make food security a persistent challenge. Protein-rich foods, such as meat and fish, are luxuries reserved for special occasions like weddings or festivals. Local markets are central to economic life, where farmers sell their surplus produce and buy household essentials. However, most transactions occur through bartering, as many families lack cash. For instance, a farmer might trade a sack of cassava for cooking oil or clothing. This barter economy shows the scarcity of disposable income and the high level of resourcefulness required to survive. Number 12. The value of a bicycle. Transportation in Burundi is not merely a matter of convenience, but a symbol of social status. In a country where cars and motorbikes are out of reach for most, owning a bicycle is a sign of prosperity. Men who own bicycles are often seen as more eligible for marriage, as it signals their ability to contribute economically to a household. For many, a bicycle is a lifeline, allowing them to transport goods to markets or access distant services. However, bicycles are beyond the financial reach of most Burundians, leaving walking as the primary mode of transportation. On average, people walk over 10 kilometers daily to attend school, reach markets, or get to work. Public transportation options, such as the pig cage, which is an improvised seatless vehicle, are available but unreliable and uncomfortable. Most rural roads are dirt paths, which become nearly impassable during the rainy season, further complicating travel and connectivity. Number 11. Cultural practices. Burundian culture is deeply rooted in traditions that emphasize simplicity, practicality, and a strong sense of community. One of the most distinctive aspects of Burundian tradition is the dowry system. When a man marries, he traditionally offers a hoe, which is an agricultural tool for soil preparation, to his bride's family. It's a humble yet meaningful gesture, symbolizing the couple's commitment to hard work and their shared responsibility for sustaining their household through farming. This simple tool holds profound significance, embodying the values of diligence, hope, and partnership. For wealthier families, a cow may be given instead of a hoe. In Burundian society, cattle are a symbol of wealth and prosperity, representing the groom's ability to provide for his new family. These dowry customs, whether modest or grand, highlight the practicality and symbolism that underpin Burundian life. Furthermore, community life is at the heart of Burundian culture. Neighbors often act as extended family, coming together to support one another during life's significant moments, such as weddings, births, and funerals. Shared responsibilities and mutual aid create a strong social fabric, ensuring that no one faces hardship alone. These gatherings are marked by music, dance, and storytelling, which are not just forms of entertainment, but powerful expressions of identity and pride. Traditional drumming, in particular, holds a respected place in Burundian society. Its rhythmic beats are a form of storytelling, used to honor ancestors, celebrate milestones, and bring people together in moments of joy and unity. These performances, often paired with energetic dances, are a celebration of the shared heritage that binds communities. Storytelling is another cherished part of Burundian culture, serving as a bridge between generations. Elders, respected for their wisdom, fascinate audiences with tales of bravery, morality, and communal values. These stories, shared during family gatherings or village events, preserve history and reinforce a collective identity. Furthermore, food also plays a central role in facilitating connection and community. Burundian cuisine is simple, often featuring staples like beans, sweet potatoes, cassava, and plantains. Meals are shared among families and neighbors, with the act of sharing itself being a cultural norm that goes beyond nourishment. On special occasions, communal cooking and the preparation of local delicacies bring people together, turning even the simplest gatherings into celebrations of unity and hospitality. Number 10. Healthcare and education. Healthcare and education remain significant challenges in Burundi. Rural clinics are often underfunded and understaffed, with frequent shortages of essential medicines. Diseases like malaria, respiratory infections, and malnutrition are common, particularly among children. Many families turn to traditional medicine or home remedies due to the high cost and inaccessibility of modern healthcare. Education is technically free at the primary level, but hidden costs, such as uniforms, books, and transportation, prevent many children from attending school. Rural schools often lack basic infrastructure, including desks, electricity, and sufficient teachers. This limited access to quality education perpetuates the cycle of poverty, leaving the next generation with few opportunities for upward mobility. Number 9. Women carrying goods on head. In grace. In Burundi, the sight of women carrying heavy loads on their heads is both practical and mesmerizing. With impeccable posture and seemingly effortless balance, they pass through steep mountain roads and rough terrains, while bearing loads that can weigh up to 70% of their body weight. These burdens range from water containers and firewood to construction materials. To manage these heavy loads, Burundian women use a clever innovation, often a piece of fabric rolled into a ring or bowl placed between their heads and the object. This simple tool reduces pressure, minimizes friction, and enhances stability. Visitors are often surprised by these women, who gracefully balance 30-liter water jugs as they walk, sometimes singing or even dancing. These women have earned their nation the affectionate title, Land of a Million Smiles, a tribute to their resilience and grace. Before we continue further, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black Africa. Let's continue now. Number 8. Hair. For Burundian women, hair is more than just appearance. It is an expression of individuality, creativity, and aspirations. While natural hair is typically tightly curled and close to the scalp, many women desire styles that reflect elegance and sophistication, often using extensions or wigs crafted from pre-braided nylon strands. In urban areas, hairstyling can be a significant financial commitment, consuming up to a quarter of a woman's monthly income. Despite the economic challenges, many women prioritize this tradition, as styled hair is a marker of pride, self-respect, and status. Whether attending cultural events or pursuing professional opportunities, their dedication to personal presentation reflects their perseverance and cultural pride. Number 7. Bananas crop. Bananas play a critical role in Burundi's economy and daily life. As one of the most widely cultivated crops, they provide a steady source of food and income. Burundians consume bananas in diverse ways, often in raw form, cooked in traditional dishes, or fermented into banana beer. They are not just sustenance, but a symbol of resilience and resourcefulness. For many families, the banana trade is a lifeline. Farmers often transport massive harvests to local markets using bicycles. During the rainy season, these journeys become even more treacherous as roads turn into muddy, impassable tracks. Furthermore, bananas are more than just a crop in Burundi, playing a role in the country's culture through banana beer, called urwarwa. This homemade beverage highlights the resourcefulness of Burundians, transforming ripe bananas into a sweet, cloudy, slightly alcoholic drink. The process begins with mashing ripe bananas and mixing them with water. In some rural areas, grass is added to accelerate fermentation. After a few days, the mixture is ready, offering a distinctly local flavor. This banana beer is a centerpiece of social gatherings, including weddings, festivals, and community celebrations, where it fosters laughter, singing, and dancing. Number 6. No railways. Burundi is one of the few nations in the world without a railway system, a gap that severely impacts its economy and daily life. The lack of rail infrastructure makes the transportation of goods both slow and expensive, pushing up costs for necessities. With no trains to rely on, Burundi depends on its road network, which is poorly maintained and often incapable of supporting heavy cargo. Efforts are underway to construct a railway connecting Burundi with neighboring Tanzania and Rwanda. If realized, this project could transform trade in the region, reducing costs and enhancing efficiency. However, political instability and financial barriers have caused delays, leaving the country dependent on its inadequate road system for now. Number 5. Roads. Burundi's roads, particularly in rural areas, are mostly unpaved and prone to becoming muddy and impassable during the rainy season. These conditions hinder everything from the transportation of goods to the delivery of essential services like healthcare and education. Farmers struggle to get their produce to market, and students face significant challenges in reaching schools. In urban areas such as Bujumbura, road maintenance is a persistent issue, with potholes and erosion slowing daily commutes. Despite these hardships, the people of Burundi show exceptional creativity in adapting to the situation. Bicycles, motorbikes, and overcrowded minibuses serve as vital modes of transportation, while rural communities rely on bicycles overloaded with goods like bananas and firewood. Number 4. Electricity and water. Basic services like electricity and clean water remain out of reach for most Burundians. Only a small percentage of the population has regular access to electricity, leaving the majority to rely on kerosene lamps, candles, or small solar panels for lighting. This lack of reliable energy not only limits productivity, but also affects education and healthcare. Water access is equally challenging. Families often walk several kilometers to collect water from rivers, streams, or communal wells, which are frequently contaminated. This daily task disproportionately falls on women and children, adding to their already significant workloads. Number 3. Lake Tanganyika. While Burundi struggles with its man-made infrastructure, it is blessed with natural resources like Lake Tanganyika, one of the world's largest and deepest freshwater lakes. The lake serves as a critical lifeline for communities, providing food, income, and a means of transportation. Every day, small fishing boats set out to cast their nets, supporting local markets and sustaining families. Lake Tanganyika is also a biodiversity hotspot, home to over 250 unique fish species. Conservation efforts aim to preserve this fragile ecosystem while supporting the livelihoods of those who depend on it. Beyond its economic importance, the lake's stunning beauty attracts visitors, offering a glimpse of Burundi's untapped potential in tourism. Number 2. The dual capitals. Burundi's unique dual capital system highlights its approach to regional balance. Since 2018, Gitega has served as the political capital, housing government offices and administrative institutions. This shift was intended to decentralize power and encourage development in less urbanized regions. Meanwhile, Bujumbura remains the economic center of the country. Situated along the shores of Lake Tanganyika, it is home to bustling markets, major businesses, and key trade networks. The central market in Bujumbura is a hub where traders sell everything from fresh produce to handmade goods, showing the entrepreneurial spirit of the Burundian people. Together, these capitals represent a blend of tradition and progress, though both face challenges in meeting the demands of a rapidly growing population. Number 1. Wholesome Life. At this point, many would expect the people of Burundi would be in deep despair and extremely unsatisfied. However, the reality is different. Despite living in one of the world's poorest nations, Burundi's people have cultivated a way of life centered on relationships, community, and finding joy in the present moment. This outstanding perspective challenges the conventional belief that wealth and material possessions are the primary sources of life satisfaction. For Burundians, happiness isn't measured by what they own, but by the connections they nurture and the simple pleasures they embrace. Family, friends, and social bonds are cherished far more than material possessions. Evenings often find families gathered together, sharing stories, singing, or enjoying a simple meal. These moments strengthen relationships and offer comfort during life's challenges. Unlike wealthier nations, where the pursuit of financial goals often overshadows personal connections, Burundians prioritize being present. Laughter, genuine care, and kindness characterize social interactions, creating an atmosphere of trust and security. Even strangers are welcomed warmly, reflecting a communal approach to life that values people over possessions. Interestingly, Burundians find joy in life's everyday moments. Children play freely in open fields, unimpacted and undisturbed by the need for expensive toys or gadgets. Adults gather at bustling markets or community events, where they share stories, dance, and celebrate together. Music and dance are integral to Burundian culture, offering a shared language of joy that surpasses economic hardships. In a world where consumerism often fuels an insatiable desire for more, Burundians stand apart. Their satisfaction comes from appreciating what they already have, rather than longing for what they don't. Cars, mansions, and designer goods hold little importance in this society that values relationships and community over material wealth. This mindset relieves the stress of chasing endless ambitions and fosters inner peace. While financial struggles are a reality, they don't dominate Burundian lives. Instead, their focus remains on the things that truly matter: health, family, and shared experiences. It's a refreshing approach that contrasts sharply with the materialistic cultures of wealthier nations. What do you think about Burundi and its being the poorest country in the world? Isn't it true that the powerful countries are equally to be blamed for Burundi's situation because they have created a system where small countries cannot even survive? In the comment section right below, share your thoughts on how Burundi can prosper and transform as a country. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We bring videos on Black Africa, its history, rich arts and culture, and things the world should know about. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.